These goats aren't kidding around. They escaped their yard in Portland and tried to catch a bus. Literally. Billy the Kid and Billy the Goat broke out last week and wandered nearly a quarter mile from home. Then surveillance video caught them hopping onto a TriMet bus. Their owner says he didn't believe they were loose until he saw the video himself.
Put the chain on to keep everyone from going in and out of the fence, because that's how they get out. Someone will open the fence and not close it. So they just, poof, thank you. They're opportunists. They'll slide right out. Ooh, thank you. And they'll go eat something. They'll just keep going. If notices them, they go to the neighbor's yard, over to that, and to the bus stop.
Don't worry, the goats are back home. Their owner has added extra security to stop the next getaway. A spokesperson for ICE told King 5 that those documents put out seeking information about these kinds of facilities was solely put out for market research. The Department of Homeland Security's documents don't include anything like invitation for bids, requests for proposals, or requests for quotations. What it does include is that it's seeking information about turnkey facilities to house detainees near the Seattle area. The criteria is a minimum of 1,500 beds, located 30 miles from the Tukwila ICE field office, able to provide housing and medical care and other services like food, detention, and transportation. Those requirements closely match the Northwest ICE Processing Center in Tacoma. Two brothers already concerned about their father's well-being while he's held at the Tacoma facility worry about it being taken over by the federal government.
So we know a couple of people who are down there in Texas and Louisiana and hearing about the conditions and everything. And those are facilities ran by ICE, so the conditions are a lot worse.
Now, the deputy legal director for a national network of progressive local elected officials believes DHS is referring to this facility in Tacoma, but it's important to note again, DHS does not identify the Northwest ICE Processing Center by name in its documents. A request for information is early in the process for the federal government to identify and determine facilities that could be available and capable to provide the services that it's looking for. We'll keep you updated on any developments in this story. In Tacoma, Farah Jadrin, King 5 News.
Mr. Coney, is your name Christine Coney?
And we'll stipulate to name and date of birth for the purposes of this hearing and associated paperwork today.
And Mr. Coney, you understand you're being charged with the crime of murder in the first degree. You're going to be accused of committing premeditated intent to cause the death of another person, did cause the death of a juvenile, initials TB, date of birth July 25th of 2009, a human being who died on or about August 2nd. You understand those are the charges against you?
We will acknowledge receipt, waive further informal reading, and enter the not guilty.
Or she or the parties please place themselves on the record.
Chris Anderson here for the state ground.
In the media at this point, we do not have discovery on this case, and identity very well may be at issue.
A 10-year-old girl is recovering in the hospital this morning after she had to be rescued from Lake Tapps on Sunday afternoon. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says she was not wearing a life jacket when she fell in. Rescuers found her under the surface 10 to 20 feet from shore at North Lake Tapps Park. It's unclear how long she was underwater. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition, and the Sheriff's Office says she has improved to stable condition. Deputies are working to figure out what happened.
Court battle over the impact of social media on children will begin in a California courtroom tomorrow. Meta Platforms faces a federal trial that could lead to its bankruptcy. The lawsuit was filed 3 years ago by 33 states, including Washington. They claim Meta contributed to the youth mental health crisis by designing features that get kids addicted to social media, and that Meta collected data from children under the age of 13 in violation of federal law. The states want changes to how Facebook and Instagram operate, along with financial damages that could total more than $1 trillion.
A 19-year-old man is due in court today accused of killing his 17-year-old friend in SeaTac. Prosecutors say that the shooting was deliberate and that the evidence suggests the victim was killed execution style.
King 5's Christian Balderas is live in the newsroom this morning. So, Christian, what do we know about what led up to this deadly shooting?
Well, maybe investigators say 19-year-old Kasim Cohn admitted he had been using several drugs that day and told detectives he couldn't remember what happened. But according to court documents, when a detective told him he believed Cohn shot his friend, Cohn said that was, quote, not a surprise to him, though he claimed he had no memory of doing it. It happened at Military Road South near South 228th Street in SeaTac. Investigators say a driver called 911 just before 11:30 on Sunday, August 2nd, after spotting a person lying along the shoulder of the road. That's where deputies found 17-year-old Vatumalu Leatoa, also known as Tao, dead. The King County Medical Examiner's Office believes he was shot in the head while lying on the ground. Friends told investigators they had met near South Center Mall and were winding down for the night when Cohen got a phone call from his mother telling him to come home. They say Cohen became agitated and said he was, quote, too high. He later told detectives he had taken mushrooms, methamphetamine, Xanax, and codeine cough syrup. While friends were driving him home, investigators say he suddenly got out of the car and said he called an Uber. Instead, Tao, the victim, offered to walk him home, and investigators say that was the last time anyone saw him alive. Detectives later recovered a 9mm ghost gun in brush near the crime scene. Court documents say Cohen admitted he was not legally allowed to have a gun, but told investigators he'd been carrying it all day. In the newsroom, Christian Valderas, King 5 News.
New this morning, we are getting a clearer picture of how Seattle voters feel about Mayor Katie Wilson's handling of public safety 8 months into her term and in the wake of that deadly Bite of Seattle shooting. Polling company Fulcrum Strategy Group surveyed 500 residents last week. They were asked if things felt generally going in the right direction or have gotten off the wrong track. Just over half of those people surveyed, 52% now, say that things are on the wrong track, which is up 42% since Wilson took office. Now, when it comes to confidence in the mayor's public safety plan, about 2 out of 3 respondents say they are not confident her plan is effective. Only 9% said they are very confident. And on the question of whether public safety cameras should be allowed after a 911 call to assist in the investigation, there was an overwhelming 75% support, including a majority of self-identified progressive voters. A North Seattle couple filed paperwork last week seeking to recall the mayor over how she has handled public safety. It will have to go through multiple steps before it would be put to a vote. Only 2 Seattle mayors have been recalled in the city's history, in 1911 and 1931.
A team of 12-year-old boys from Tacoma is headed to the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. They play on ESPN on Wednesday. This is Hunt Middle School's softball field. This is where the boys practice and have had some of their big victories on this long gauntlet that it takes to get to the Little League World Series. These are 12-year-old boys who told us this is a lifelong dream for them. Haven't been around too long, but they know what a big deal it is to play in Williamsport, Pennsylvania against first all the champion teams from across the U.S. and then eventually, potentially, the world's best teams. Teams come from the Far East, Central America, Europe. So it is quite the spectacle. We just talked to a dad who said, yeah, you know, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of time, but it's so worth it. The boys learn a lot about adversity and resilience and self-reliance. So it's been a long summer for these boys, and they're hoping to bring a title home to the Northwest.
Always went to work, or she let somebody know if she wasn't going to be there. She didn't just leave you hanging. She was very responsible.
It was just weird.
A missing woman's boss is having trouble believing what's happened.
Kelly's friends and co-workers just couldn't make sense of her disappearance. At home, the TV was left on, her purse in plain view, and perhaps most concerning, her dogs were running free.
It was as if she had simply disappeared off the face of the earth.
Explain the shift from missing person to homicide.
Well, in this case, it happened in an instant. We found that person, right? And we know that person is deceased. So now we start focusing on this is a crime scene.
Kelly was a blonde bombshell hairstylist, and she left hair and started driving truck, and she still looked like she walked out of a MTV music video, and she loved it.
Even though she was driving a truck, she might have had her hair in a ponytail, but she still was made up. She still was, you know, gorgeous and fit in, even though she was not what you would typically think a truck driver would be.
Police are searching for the driver who hit and nearly killed a 20-year-old skateboarder here in South Lake Union. Jordan Brito was skating to work Wednesday, August 12th around 5:30 in the morning when a witness heard a noise and then found Jordan in the street. Jordan's mom says that person called 911, and she says it's clear from her son's injuries that he was ran over. According to hospital documents, Jordan's injuries include bleeding and bruising to his brain, multiple skull and facial fractures involving both eye sockets, his nose and jaw, a fractured left wrist, and an injury to an artery supplying blood to his brain. Jordan's mom, his siblings, his twin brother, they are all grateful he's alive right now. They're eager, though, that something like cameras captured some sort of evidence here, or maybe somebody knows something.
I'll show you real quick. This is Jackie Lemaulani Martinez, showing her family the hurricane from her home on Hawaii's Big Island.
Wow.
The gusts are like 60, 75.
Oh, wow.
And the rain is sideways. Jackie is in Ocean View on the southwestern slope of Mauna Loa, one of the closest areas to the approaching hurricane. And she's riding it all out in a yurt.
You know, it was supposed to be over by this afternoon, but she slowed down.
2 years ago, Jackie left Federal Way for the Big Island.
They wanted to go out to Hawaii and just live off the grid.
Having seen what she made, on her own, it's scary knowing that she could lose all of that.
Building from the ground up runs in this family. Leanna Landon and Raylene Smith are Jackie's aunts, and for 20 years they've built a piece of Hawaiian community right here in Federal Way.
My dad was from Hawaii, so when we did the restaurant, we basically did it because there were no Hawaiian restaurants in Federal Way at the time.
Pack Island Grill became more than a restaurant. It became a gathering place for all.
So many of the people that have come have said that they were grateful that it felt like home when they walked in.
Here it doesn't matter if you're family by blood or a customer. You're Ohana, Hawaiian for family. But as the hurricane moves across the Big Island, this family can only watch and worry.
Our family is close-knit, and so for her to be out there and going through that alone, we're trying to communicate with her as much as possible just to make sure she's okay. Keep us posted.
If Jackie does need help, her Ohana here is ready.
All right, love you, Jax.
Okay, love you.
Bye.
The Tacoma Humane Society is running out of room for cats and is asking the community for help. I'm Bethany on the King News Desk, and the Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County says it's taken in 20 more cats from an abandoned vehicle just hours after taking in the 60th rescued cat from the boat off Owen Beach. The latest group includes 12 kittens and a mama cat, and all 20 were exposed to ringworm. The new arrivals bring the shelter's cat population to more than 190, with another 230 cats already in foster homes. Now, the shelter urgently needs medical fosters who can give these cats a quieter place to recover. The Tacoma Humane Society says it provides the supplies and guidance needed to foster safely. If you can help, you can find the foster application at thehumanesociety.org.
I think we can all appreciate that. It's been a really bumpy ride. It really impacted the public. It resonated deeply that there's a real public safety challenge. The city council, a lot of stakeholders, very unsettled. I think ultimately, when she was elected by 2,000 votes, it's a liberal, progressive city. People wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I think this is an operational challenge. It's an administrative, a management challenge. And I think it resonated deeply with the public, that middle of the city relative to the concern that she may have some real challenges administratively to be running a city of this size. So I think it's impacted her politically on a very substantive level. Now, her base is going to be with her, and they're passionate and they're embracing her work. I think those folks who were opposed to her are still opposed, and those folks in the middle, I think, are pretty jolted by some of the public safety challenges we're seeing.
Spoon is all the things. He's a great person. He's a great football player. He's a great teammate. He's a great leader. Those are the guys we want to be here. It's kind of similar to Jack's. It's like these are foundational people to our team, and I'm extremely excited to get that foundation laid. Where we know Spoon's going to be here for the long haul, and we're also excited for the opportunity to reward him. That this is a contract that we feel like he's earned, and we should celebrate it as well. But it's also really exciting to know that we have foundational players that are going to be part of our team here for a long time.
ICE agents attempted to arrest someone at a Port Orchard business, and local police say they were not involved. I'm Bethany on the King News Desk, and the Port Orchard Police Department say ICE agents went to a business Saturday afternoon near Southwest Sedgwick Road and Sydney Road when officers say the person they were trying to take into custody ended up running, causing ICE agents to chase them on foot. Port Orchard officers did respond after someone called 911 and were able to verify the agent's credentials, but said they were not a part of the operation. At this time, it's unclear if the person ICE was trying to take into custody was arrested.
It sounds really intense, I'll tell you. The gusts are like 60, 75.
This is Jackie. She's riding out the hurricane on Hawaii's Big Island, and she's doing it off the grid. That's right, a yurt.
The wind against the yurt is the scariest thing.
Jackie left Federal Way 2 years ago to build a life in Hawaii, and now her family here in Washington is watching the storm unfold through FaceTime.
We're all sending good juju to you. Having seen what she made on her own, it's scary knowing that she could lose all of that.
Her aunts own a Hawaiian restaurant in Federal Way where they've built a community around their shared roots.
Our family is close-knit, and most of us have lived within each other's houses by 10 miles. So for her to be out there and going through that alone, we're trying to, communicate with her as much as possible just to make sure she's okay.
And tonight, that family is doing what they can from thousands of miles away, watching, waiting, and hoping the storm passes safely.
My anxiety